This is our art lesson, and we are starting with a lovely big sphere shape on here. They're going to be using two-dimensional shapes to create three-dimensional drawings today. And for this lesson you'll need a pencil, some colouring pens or some felt tips, doesn't matter which colours, some plain white paper and some food packages. Unopened is better. Ask for help if you're taking things down from the cupboards. Don't start climbing up or anything like that. And if you need anything out the fridge, do that as well. So this lovely shape on here, this shows us three-dimensional shape. What is the name of this shape? It's a 3D shape. And the artist has drawn a 2D circle and used shading to give the impression that it is a three-dimensional spherical shape. It is a sphere. So you use a circle, which is a 2D shape, to get a sphere. So we're going to be using two-dimensional shapes. Two-dimensional shapes are flat shapes that have length and width. They don't have any thickness. And if you draw a square or a circle or a triangle on a piece of paper, they are straight away, they're two-dimensional. You can't pick them up. They don't have any thickness. Three-dimensional shapes are solid objects that have length, width and height as well, so you can pick them up. Unlike those two-dimensional shapes, they have thickness or depth. So for instance, a cube or a sphere or a triangular prism or a pyramid. We're going to be looking at food packaging. Continues with our Scrumdiddlyumptious topic, with our theme, and you're going to be asking a grown-up to help you find those food packets, some tins or cartons that you'd like to draw. Something nice and bright and something simple would be best. And another tip for you is when you're doing your pencil lines, make sure you're sketching softly, not too hard, because if you want to change them or adjust them, they're a lot easier to do. I don't use a rubber during my my film, and I don't really think it needs it. So if you can do that, that's a real skill in itself. You're going to be practicing your determination. If it doesn't go well at first, keep trying to look really carefully and copy what you see. Don't worry about those mistakes. These are how we learn. So let's watch the video. We're doing an art lesson this afternoon, and Mrs. Ludlow is going to show you how to have a look at some of the packaging that she's got out from her cupboard. This afternoon we're going to have a look at using two-dimensional shapes to see if we can make a three-dimensional representation with our sketching. I'll just give you a little example. You have to bear with me because I am filming and delivering the lesson as well. I've got a 2D shape here which is a square, and I'm just overlaying it with another square, just over, it doesn't matter how much by, just two square shapes. And then if I join the two up with lines coming from each of the corners, straight away that makes a three-dimensional shape. And you can do it with squares and make cuboids. If you put them quite away from each other, you can sort of elongate, make that shape longer. And if I draw the lines between the two shapes to match each corner, you can see I get a cuboid shape. It also works with circles. If I draw an oval shape, maybe two oval shapes, and then draw the sides down, I get a cuboid. And again, if I do two triangles, so these are two-dimensional shapes, and I can lay them over. As long as they're the same sort of size, we'll get quite a nice triangular prism. Okay, and again, you can do them further apart, and you can even test out one large one. Not very well done, that one. And a small one, and make it look as though it's coming further towards you. They're quite nice, those ones. Okay, so have a little play with those, they're quite good fun. Right, let's have a look at the 3D shapes we've got. We've got a cuboid here. This is a nice one. We've got some moo juice, and we've got a cuboid, so it's got a square top. Okay, and we've also got a little pora, which is in the shape of a cylinder there. It's got a little button on the top that's cylindrical. This one is another cuboid. It's a great bit of packaging. I love the character on this one. He's really good fun. He's quite old. He's been around for a long time. This is a cuboid again, but it's got curved corners, which has got an interesting shape. And this is my favourite stuff. I love a bit of strawberry jam. And it's got an oval shape. If we look at the top of that, if I bring the camera angle down, it's got an oval shape, and then it's got straight sides, a little bit like that one where we had the straight sides. And then if we come down on that shape, it's almost like a teardrop shape, this jar, which I really like. I always feel as though when I get to the bottom I've still got lots left because of the shape of it. And then we've got these circular lines here that are sort of almost the same, just one's lower down than the other one. And then we've got a repeat of that circular curve at the bottom, and that's quite important that we sort of match that angle. They've got some nice I've got spotlights on in here, so you've got some nice shadows coming off the side too. They look quite nice. And I've got some rigatoni. I love the packaging, the font on here. It's really quite stunning, and they use scalloped edge and some very eye-catching patterns. And they've got a little Italian flag there, and they've got their food, their nutritional values on there as well, which we've been looking at too this term. So this ties in quite nicely with our topic, our Scrumdiddlyumptious topic. I love the cow on there. I did have a little try earlier of drawing that cow on, but it came out a little bit like a cross between a pig and a sheep, so it wasn't quite so good. I think he'd be quite good fun to draw. Anyway, I think the first one I'm going to start with is my favourite, and I'm just going to draw a little oval shape for the lid of my jam. And you know, I can just gently draw it. I don't need to press too hard. I'm going to bring the sides down. I'm doing it quite sort of quickly. Keep going back to the shape of this. And if you see, I'm drawing it sort of from this angle, so I've got that oval shape in the top. I've also got a line at the back there, which is sort of like a highlight line, and I might just pop that in just to carry on that shape. Hopefully you can see it properly. And I'm just drawing that shape down, and then I'm going to try and draw the sides down. They sort of come out sort of quite square, so I'm trying to keep going back to my jar. And this is the bit that I always find tricky, that's to get something that is symmetrical, so that the two sides equal each other. I'm really good at drawing on that side. I think it's just the way that my right-handedness is, but this side I always find that quite tricky to do. I probably could have a go at sort of turning it up the other way. I'm not very good at drawing curves that way around. It's not bad. And then it's just practice across the bottom. Oops. And if I make a mistake, I could just, you know, just go, you can rub out if you want to, but if you're pressing really lightly, you can just make those marks adjust. I think that's sort of not a bad shape. I'm trying to get it from the top. It's hard to get the angles right. And then let's bring it over a little bit closer. Not bad. And then it's probably a little bit deeper there, but if I want to put some detail on it, I can do the leaves that are from the top. They're quite a nice little pattern going on there, nice shapes. And I can spend a little bit of time putting that on. And also the logo that's on the front, which is like a heart. But I look closely at it, it's actually the top part of the heart is two little strawberries, so I thought they'd be quite fun to draw. Drawing the seeds. Could you hear me tapping? And then I can do the brand name, which sort of runs up like almost like a ribbon through it. And then right on Hartley's. Oh, and they just spotted that the heart on there. The more you look, the apostrophe is a little heart. The more you look at it, the better it becomes, hopefully. And then I've got seedless strawberry, it says actually. Seedless. And I'll just sort of muddle that up a little bit because you can't really see that on there. That's fine. Not bad. And I'm going to draw a little edge to it, which is where the really dark shadow is lying there. And a little shadow in the background. So it looks like the light's coming across there. Not bad. I'm just going to do it from the top down so you can, you can see the shape of it. Not a bad shape. It definitely looks three-dimensional, and it's that shape of their lid that makes it look more three-dimensional than it did. Camera's having trouble focusing there. I think that'll be alright. Okay, so have a little go at some of your packaging. You know, this is about getting your skills up. You might like to have a go at some of the 3D shapes using the two and joining the lines in between. Have a little play with those, they're quite good fun. Here's one I did on a previous video that I had trouble uploading, so I've done this a good few times today. You can see where I made a real blunder there, and you might like to colour in with some coloured pencils. I've got some very rubbishy old set of pencils here in my little desk area, and there's my sheep cross between a sheep and a pig and a cow, I think. But you can see that shape, that the cylinder on the top and the slightly angled square, and coming down, and I've joined that same angle at the top as with the bottom to try and make it look good. Okay, get that three-dimensional shape. Okay, hope that goes well. Right, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed that and it was useful. It is a little bit blurry and a little bit sort of jolty at times, but as I said, I did it myself, so you know it's as good as we could get it. So hopefully you've got your work ready to start, and you can, once you've finished your drawings, you can add some of the colour to your sketches with coloured pencils or some felt tip pens. Just be careful that you make sure you're doing that quite accurately with the felt tips, because they can sort of spoil a nice sketch as well. So just be a bit gentle with those. Create those bold colours on the packages. I had that lovely green that I could have done and coloured that in. So you can do that, or you can choose different colours to the packaging and see if you can make it even more eye-catching, because the idea of packaging on food is so that you know it catches your attention and you go and buy them. So I'd really love to see your work. Somebody's already sent me one of their their reading rivers through to me, so that was really great to see. Thank you. And any more that you can do, if you're doing a little sketch and you want to send it to me, you can send it to the school office by email and they will forward it on to me. I can't wait to see them. They'd be really lovely to see, and you know, we're all part of that team, so trying to keep each other going, and hopefully I shall see you soon. Okay, thanks, bye now.